Welcome to Season 2 of The Biz Show, sponsored by InvestQuire. And now, your hosts, Barry and Lisa.
Hey,
Good
Lisa, how
morning,
are you
Barry.
today? Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Barry. I'm doing pretty good. The fast week. And yeah, we're looking forward to another brand new week of some great business opportunities happening.
Yeah, we had a good time. On Friday we went to San Diego to go to Business Expo down there and met some pretty interesting companies and people, didn't we?
There's so many companies now around AI and marketing. It's amazing, right?
You
Everyone's
know,
trying to tap into that.
yeah, it was accounting and marketing
Accounting, yeah,
and
like this
marketing. There's a
AI
lot of them.
helps you
There's
find.
a Yeah, there was an AI company that was similar to Facebook, but as a marketplace.
Yeah,
And you're in the marketplace, and when people came in and said, I need this, then the AI would pick and choose what companies to refer you to.
right.
Interesting. I don't know. Have to look at that model and see. But hey,
Yeah, it's like, whatever there's an opportunity, people try to, it's all about trial and error. See what is successful for you when you're starting a business, right? Hopefully
right.
they're doing well. It's like a subscription apps based business. There's a lot of that going on.
There's a lot of
So
AI stuff going on. It's the new fad. And it is, for all intents and purposes, it is a growing technology that could really help business, just depending how it's used, so on and so forth. So we'll see. The jury's out, right?
yeah, but it was such a great day. I'm so glad we went. It was beautiful weather in San Diego, and it's always great to meet new people. And obviously, they're trying to see what the market brings to them, which leads us into the podcast that we're doing today.
Yeah. Well, it does. Perfect. You're right. And so we're still in our business 101 series in the startup, and this topic, episode 3, we're talking about market research, right? Last week we talked about creating and brainstorming on your idea. Now, once
Business.
you've kind of figured your ideal out, now market research.
Yes, exactly. And that is really going to help you define how to present your product or your service, right? So do your market research to figure out if you're going to be able to target the market that will buy your product or utilize your services. So how do
Yeah,
we do that?
well, there's several things in doing this, right? In the market research, people think, oh, I just need to take a look at the product and see how it is. And actually, that is further from the truth. Really, the market research is looking at the entire market, your competitors, your customers, so on and so forth, right? Identifying the needs of your product in a market. And what is that market? Who knows? For you and I, it's buying and selling businesses, it's management consulting, business consulting, and technology consulting.
It's anybody that has a business or needs assistance with operations of their company, and maybe they lack some manpower and they need to subcontract out the work. So, our market is a business owner.
It is a business owner. And there's also some people sometimes ask us, well, what space? Small, medium, large? And it
Right.
doesn't really matter as long as you got a business and you want to sell it, merge it, or do acquisitions, we're there to help. And I say that because we've done businesses, we've sold businesses. Like we got one that was coming online soon for $75,000. And then I've done mergers and acquisitions as high as $55 million.
Right.
So, you know, any 50 million and less, I guess.
We help all sizes, all types of business owners, every type of industry imaginable. We don't just have a niche. So yeah, the sky's the limit, and we do it all from selling and brokering the business to running the daily operations of a business. So that would be our target market, right?
Exactly. So, and that's it, right? So you want to identify your target market, figure out what their needs and their preferences are, and then you need to understand the trends in that landscape, right?
It's
Understand the
ever
business.
changing. It
It
could be ever,
does.
right? Yeah.
Exactly. And then do some risk analysis and uncertainties. Where are the pain points? That's the thing you're really looking for, the pain points, right? For us, people want to sell their business or they have gap or knowledge or skills gaps where we can plug in and help them temporarily or permanently. It depends on what they want.
And a big one is helping people. I think we really need to push this concept is prepare for sale because we don't want to come in and have to do an emergency sale. So I think, finding the market that we could target to that is like ready to retire and step away and really be able to help them build up their company to a point where it's sellable and they get the most amount of money for the business when they do sell. So I think that's a good target niche for us is to find, some marketing around people that are preparing to retire and sell their business.
That is absolutely, I like it. I like it. It's absolutely true. And we have in season one a podcast or two that talks about preparing your business for the sell. And we suggest you start preparing 1 year prior to selling your business
Mhm.
because that gives you time or gives us time, whoever's doing this, to get all your ducks lined up in a row, right? Get all your financials in place, get all your marketing in place, get all your legal and permits and licenses, all that all lined up. And then create a folder to put all this stuff in so that when we start presenting buyers to you, you've got a one place to go get everything.
Yes, it's all done and very sellable at that point in
And
time.
and, and you and I, we pull our hair out when it comes to emergency sales, don't we?
Oh, benefits of market research. We were talking about reducing the risk and uncertainty and the pain points, figuring out those so that you can
You,
market your that way, right?
right, right. And the benefit really is it allows you to create a plan, right? A path, an action plan of things that as you're doing your market research, oh, hey, I gotta look at this and look at this and look at this and look at this. Then you can go back and look at those things, right? So it kind of creates that roadmap for you to get from point A to B to C to D to E to F.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, then the problem is, as
You're
I've
probably
said,
not going to connect to the public market. You may find that you're not having many sales, right? You
well,
may
yeah,
find slow to
and what I
go,
was
like
what I was going to say is the saying that I say all the time. If you don't do this, then how do you know what you don't know if you don't know what you don't know? And any road's going to get you there because you don't know where the hell you're going,
right.
right?
And if you don't know who your market is, I mean, look at your competitors and see who they're marketing to and how are they doing their marketing. That's really where you can gain a lot of information. Like you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. You can actually like identify what's working for another company and maybe kind of mimic it and then create your own style around it and your own branding. That's why there's like
Exactly.
Lowe's and Home Depots are typically like right across the street from each other, right? So competition is great. It helps your business grow. It helps you market to the same clientele, but maybe provide a different level of services. So yeah, so definitely look at the competition and the competitive landscape to
Two
understand.
things, two things that you said there. Number one, well, first of all, if you don't know who your competition is, you're already failing, right? Your
Yes,
business is going to fail because you don't even know. First of all, you don't know who you're selling to, and you don't know who you're selling against. But you absolutely need to take a look at the competition nationwide and locally, right? And I'm not saying every single business, but just grab a handful and analyze their business models, analyze who they sell to. I mean, okay, you said Lowe's and Home Depot. Who do they sell to? Well, they sell to business, contractors who are building homes and stuff like that, but they also sell to homeowners, right? And if you walk into one of those, you see garden hoses, barbecues, not just lumber and nails and hammers to build homes, right? So they have a large market of the customer base that they sell to. And, again, both of them have done their homework extensively. And let me say this this has come up just recently with something that we're involved in and doing. You should always look at other companies' marketing. Companies like Microsoft, Apple, Home Depot, and Lowe's, they've spent millions and millions of dollars of research on marketing. They
Right. They've already done
know.
all that labor
So
and
instead of you reinventing the wheel, right, and coming up with a will, take a look at what they've done. Look at their colors, look at their fonts, look at, all the different simplicity things that they've gone through
yeah,
already. They've done all that stuff.
exactly.
So you don't have to, if you're smart, mimic,
Right.
right?
Exactly. And that's really going to save you a lot of time and frustration. And, the goal is to make money. So why waste time, trying to reinvent the wheel? So that's a great point, Barry. Look at the people that have already spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, doing that research.
Yes,
Saves
yes,
you
yes, yes.
time.
Yes, and that's the observations, right? We're in the methods, right? So there's a couple different types. Surveys, focus groups, interviews, observations. And that's really what we were talking about there, observing other companies and stuff like that. That's the most common and the
Yeah,
easiest and probably the cheapest.
right. Surveys get annoying. I mean, we get asked to do a survey all the time, but it's so helpful for the business. So it takes you, what, a couple of minutes? So I do encourage people out there when you get one on your text or your email, take the time to complete the survey. It'll help your business partner or your vendor, whoever you're working, who's working for you, figure out what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong.
I go into every morning, I get up, I grab my cup of coffee, I sit down, I go through my emails, and I look at the news stories. And where I look at my news stories, typically they have 6 question surveys. Just, a little, I answer all of them every day. I answer the 6 questions, and it's a gamut of topics. What
Like what?
deodorant do you use? As one of them, or who do you think's going to win the election? I'm like, I don't know, but
Oh my God.
it just ranges from different things of what they are. So I do those. I know I talked to a few people. They love doing surveys. I'm like, okay, cool.
I wonder where
But
those are going that you do. Out of curiosity, like where are those going? Because it's
it's
not
all
specific
market.
to.
It's not specific to anything, but yeah, it goes through, and I go to MSN and I log in there, and that's where I get, my
Oh,
initial news. But then I go to
like
to
one of the few people I know that do those. Yeah,
yeah.
that's interesting.
So,
I learn something new about you on every podcast.
and I learned nothing about you. Come on, Grandma, spit it out.
Oh, well, what do you
Spill
want
the
to know?
goods. What's the secret?
I like to do surveys when a company does really good by me. I love to promote them to the public because I want
Yes.
that. So I love to make a company shine if I can. So bring on the surveys, and especially if you're providing great service. I mean, that's an opportune time to get your reviews and other testimonials to build your business clientele.
Exactly. Here is a little secret that I'm going to share with people. When you are doing the market research and the methods and go search for secondary research, right? Other reports that have already been done. A lot of these advertising companies, they do share their results. Go find those. And now other people have already done this. They might have paid good money to have it done, and now the results are available for free.
Ah, yeah, good point.
So, go Google or research industry reports, market data. A good group, it'll cost money, is the Gardner Group. They are a big research and poll group and stuff like that. And they got a lot of stuff on their website that is available for free. And if you're starting a business, they give you like the top 10 items of all their surveys. So starting a business, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I'm not advertising them, but I am sharing a little bit of secrets here and there, right?
Yeah, you're giving some tips out there for business owners. I think that's great. That's why they're listening to our podcast, and our podcast audience keeps growing because we want to help you guys. If you're not calling us directly, just listening for 30 minutes on Mondays, you'll definitely be able to pick out a nugget or two. So hopefully we are doing that for you.
Hopefully
And
we
that's
are.
why, yeah, we're going
And
to mention, go
just
ahead.
by the way, you can listen to the podcast anytime, not just on Mondays.
That's right. That's when our new podcast comes out. And
Right.
sometimes I forward the podcast to a client and they listen to the one that we just did. And I'm like, oh no, there's like 30 more podcasts. You can start from the very beginning,
And
episode and one and season one. So yeah, we're
follow the
in
journey.
season two, and we're gonna have some good speakers on because we met some people at the expo. We want them to be on our interview on one of our podcasts coming up here soon. So you're going to get a flavor of a business owner, and we'll be able to ask them some really great questions about their business, how they started, what they love about it. And so we want you to tune in every week and continue to spread the word about the Biz Show. We want to build our network of people on the Biz Show and get up to the level of possible sponsorship. So we have a goal too. So please support us.
We do. We're looking for a sponsorship. So that would help us out a lot because then we can go to video and not only have this syndicated on all of the Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, Stitcher, but also on YouTube.
I have to get out of my jammies then. I'd have to wear some clothing and
Yeah, yeah. Well, put some makeup on too.
thanks, Barry.
Hey, wait, am I going to have to wear makeup too?
Well, this day and age, I think that might fly
Do
pretty
you think
well.
they can make me look like George Clooney?
Oh my gosh. Why, that would be wonderful. We would have to do a podcast
Yeah.
every day.
Instead I look like John Candy, sorry. It's going to take a lot of makeup to make
Oh
that
my
happen.
gosh. You make me laugh so much. This is a great way to start the day with laughter.
That hey,
Everyone, come
laughter
on, you
is the
can laugh
best
with us.
medicine.
I mean, just because
Yes.
we're talking about business and all these hard work that you have to do to make your business successful, you can also laugh and have fun doing it. So hopefully we made you laugh today. But
Hopefully
anyway,
we
so
did, and I did mention prior, last episode, maybe the one before, The Great Game of Business by Jack Stack. Have fun. Make it a game. You know, it doesn't have to be your nose to the grindstone and just sit there, go, 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 go. You can stop and smell the roses, smell the coffee, and laugh a little.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I,
So we talked about the methods and stuff. There's a few tools out there to help you, right? Some of them are pretty self-explanatory, like Google and stuff like that. But
yeah,
if you
so
want
get
to
a pen
do,
and paper. Here's some tools for you.
yeah. So if you want to do surveys, right, then there's several platforms out there. SurveyMonkey is a good one. Uh, Qual Qualtrics is another good one. That's Qualtrics, and Typeform. Those are good for research surveys. And I'm going to share a secret with you coming up here shortly. Um, Next, if you want to do focus groups, maybe grab a bunch of your friends or colleagues or whatever and grab on a Zoom or a Google meeting call. And you
Yeah.
guys can all sit there and do a little bit of surveys and market research with them. This next
Oh,
one,
fun. That would be a good idea.
this one's going to shock a lot of people, right?
What?
There is a software package out there. It's a website software called Hootsuite, Hootsuite. It does social media listening. Now, how many times have you been sitting around having a conversation, and then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, whatever you talked about is showing up in your Facebook feed,
Yeah, I
right?
know all the time. I mean, you don't even have to push any information into your phone. You can actually just be thinking it and it will come through your phone. I don't know how that works, but that's happening now.
Well, go look at Hootsuite and you will know because that's the company that does it.
What? Really? Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes. Now it
Is
is
it
a
just on
subscription.
does it happen on Androids too or just on Apple?
Everything. It happens on all social media platforms and in all devices. It listens, but it also goes through, you put in keywords, right, of what you want, what your business is and stuff like that. And then it goes out and it starts looking at everybody's social media feeds and it
Uh,
comes back and it formulates the AI and it formulates information for you, so on and so forth.
is
And
that
it's
what
list
hash? Yeah. Is that what
It-
hashtags are too? When you do a hashtag after a post,
no, that is a group, and you're kind of sending it to that group
a group of
of people.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people like say love of life, right? So you write a comment and you put hashtag love of life. And so Twitter and Instagram and Facebook now have they create a little group called Love of Life. And then
Oh,
people, anytime they put the hashtag in there, that post also goes in there.
oh, oh, okay. I did not.
So
Okay. I'm still
yeah,
learning. I'm a little
yeah,
antiquated when it comes to the social media.
that's
You
okay.
The
There's
20
that's
somethings have it down, but I'm still learning.
Yes. So Hootsuite, and there's another one called Brand Watch. Hootsuite's the better of the two, but yeah, there's your big brother and your spy right there
So
that's
what about
listening.
those people that don't have any social media? Like I have a dear friend that shared that he does not have any social media.
Right.
So how does he doesn't have anyone watching him or listening?
Then Hootsuite hates him. You know,
So
if
he's
he did, so he's one of the 1%, right? Or the 2% or
so
whatever
he
percent.
doesn't get any
Those,
marketing to him then. He only gets marketed when he watches TV and sees a commercial. Is that really
right.
it?
Yeah,
Wow.
really. You know, and here's the thing. They try to do targeted marketing. And so the concept of the targeted marketing stuff was a great concept, right? In the sense that it started to, if you're interested in certain things, then it would show you ads about those certain things. However, over the 15 years that this has evolved to where it is today, it
Yeah,
is very fine-tuned, but yet it's so annoying
right.
and very intrusive. And let me say this right now. We've said this in the past, but if you are subscribing to a service for free, you are the product. And they're selling your information. That's where they're making their money. So anytime
Ah,
you
yeah.
use Google, do you pay for anything on Google? No. Google's free. Google Docs is free. All that stuff's free. Guess what? They take all your stuff that's in there and they sell it to other companies.
Man. Yeah, that's so scary.
That's why I don't use Google Workplace and stuff like that because anything you have in there can go out to they can sell that stuff. It's theirs.
Wow. Now I want to look at all my Google stuff, my Google, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where fraud happens, I'm sure.
Well, it's not fraud. I mean, you signed up for it when you hit that little thing. You agreed to the
Well, I
terms and
mean,
conditions.
your information's going everywhere, then perhaps your identity gets stolen, your bank account information, you're opening yourself
Right.
up to that type of fraud.
Yes, you are. You can. And just one last thing I'll say on that before we move on. And the fact is that when you sign those terms and conditions and stuff like that, you're allowing them to do whatever they want. So whatever
We're
you put
allowing,
in there.
yes, exactly. Those
So if
little
your
boxes that we
privacy,
click, yeah, those
yep,
little privacy boxes, I agree to the terms, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
yep.
Well,
So
anyway,
if
we went
you're
out on a tangent on that one, but because it's just so bewildering and nobody probably knew that the name of that is called Hoot Sweet.
Hootsuite,
I don't
kind
give
of
a hoot.
reminds me Toot Sweet, right? From Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah. Hoot. I like saying
Hootsuite.
that word. I'm going to say it. Hoot Sweet.
There you go. So the next thing is really once you've gathered all this information, right? You've done
Yeah.
your brainstorming, you've done your market
Oh,
research, you've collected all this data. Now you get this pile of documents sitting in
analyze.
front of you. Now what, right?
We need those analytic brains on this one,
You
right?
do.
Analyze.
And
Yeah.
you do. And the thing is there's still not a whole lot of software out there that can take and analyze all that stuff yet. So it does take a little bit of brain power on your end. But yeah, you got to really look for those patterns and look for those trends. You know, um, I won't go into details, but when I was working with a company for a while ago, it was a restaurant company. We had a restaurant who were just trying to figure out, it was brand new restaurant reopened. So I was trending every day. I was running analytics and statistics and looking at the sales and the day of the week and the time and stuff like that. Just trying to analyze the sweet spots. Where's this thing trending? Where, obviously, a restaurant, lunch and dinner are the biggest biggest busiest times of the day. But also, what other times of the day? Not only that, but is it the 1st and the 15th? When people get paid, all those things. So all those things come into play. You have to look for
Right.
those trends. You have to be
Yep.
prepared for those, right? So, and here's the thing too. This really plays into market space, right? And in the market space, if you take a look, let's just take Microsoft versus Apple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Market share, should I say? Microsoft holds 75% of the market share when it comes to OS,
Mm-hmm.
operating systems. Apple only holds 20, and then 5% is Linux and a few others. Um, However, in smartphones, Apple has 20% of the market, and Microsoft's not in there, but Samsung and others are out there. I was a little surprised to find that when I did the market research on this, that Apple only held 20% of the market with everybody that has
Yeah.
iPhones and stuff like that. I really expected it to be a lot higher, and it wasn't.
Like flip-flopped. Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
so it was
So you learned
surprising.
something.
And you just did too.
Yeah, we learned something
You
from
know,
you doing research.
you have an iPhone and I have an Android, and come to find out, my Android has more market share than your iPhone, and I didn't really expect that because you look at cars, right, and a lot of them have the iPhone connections for the cars and stuff like that, and not many of them actually have Android. You actually have to get what they call Android Auto, download that, and then use that for it. So I just I thought that was rather telling.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, so once you analyze the data and you figure out what your trends are and your what your graphs are showing you based on all of this information, now you could like really put it into action and develop your product,
Yeah. So once you got
fine
all this
tune.
stuff together, you've learned everything about it. Now you're going to do your product development, right?
That's the purpose of it, right?
You're going to
Yeah,
put your marketing strategies in place. You're actually at this point, you're going to set a price for your product because you know what the competition is charging,
pricing
right?
is a huge part of it. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't just pick a price out of the sky. You have to do all of this research first to make sure you're in line with the market.
Yeah. And when you're pricing it, do you come in below market? Do you come in above market? Do you come in at market? If you're a brand new product on the market, you might want to come in a little lower so that you can pick up some of the low hanging fruit people who want to, pay less money
Yeah,
for a particular product. But it is,
right.
you might do that for a year and then you might gradually start raising your prices from there.
Just to capture the market, right? And get them to know
Right.
your business and your services. And maybe it's more about volume.
Yeah, exactly. It is. It's more volume than it is at that point, and then
Yeah,
eventually you can turn it around. And then
exactly.
also customer service, right? Make sure that your customer service is placed. Make sure you're giving the customers the product and the service that they need.
Oh my gosh,
And
I couldn't even tell you how many times I go to a favorite restaurant or a favorite place and I love what I'm eating or what I'm buying there or whatnot, but the people that work there, it's just like, oh my gosh, they're just like not the friendliest and not very welcoming. And it just makes you, think, how are they even successful? Because they're just so rude to you. But it's, and so it really could ruin the whole experience when you don't have great team players, when you don't have the players in the forefront giving you the best most excellent, impressionable customer service. I think that's key to a business's success. I think you could have a bad product, but great customer service, and you might have people coming back just because they like you. It's all about relationships at the end of the day.
it is, hey, did you say at the end of the day?
Do you know how many people say that? And I always think of you when I hear everyone,
I haven't said it
everybody,
this whole podcast. I haven't said it. Um, so you're right, Lisa.
you're going to
And
say it.
the customer service is just as important as the product itself. And
Yeah.
people will pay more money if they get excellent customer service. And I'm going to tell a quick story here. We're really close to the end, but I've always defined, and I've always, when I've talked to my people, and my employees and staff and stuff. I said, look, there's three types of customer service. There's the Kmart customer service, Target customer service, and Nordstrom's customer service.
Yeah.
Kmart, you walk into the store, you're looking for the shoe department, and you're
Nobody's
on
there to
your
help
own.
you. Yeah, there's
Nobody is there. Not you can't even ask anybody. You just
yeah,
have to aimlessly walk around the store till you find the shoe department.
exactly.
If you go into Target, you're going to walk in, you're going to see somebody. Hey, I'm looking for the shoe department. Oh, it's over there in the
Bright,
left corner. They'll
yeah, they're
point
wearing
you in the
bright red.
direction, and but
Hmm.
then that's it. They walk away. Then go to Nordstrom's. Nordstrom's, you go in. Hey, I'm looking for the shoe department. Oh, okay. Hey, follow me. My name's Bill, by the way. How you doing? What's your name? Oh, okay, great. What type of shoe are you looking for? As they're walking you to the shoe department, he's having a whole conversation with you. And then
Right.
when he gets to the shoe department, he walks you up to the shoe salesman or the associate, says, hey, this is Bill, the customer. He's looking for this type of shoe. It's a warm handoff. You've engaged the customer. You've had that whole conversation with them. It's exceptional customer service. Do you?
Yes,
Yeah, the customer's going to pay more money for that shoe, but the experience that they had and everything was better in Kmart.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's a very good point.
Yes.
So, so
Well,
in
that
closing,
wraps. Yeah,
yeah, we just summarized all of the steps that it takes to get your product out there and be successful. And the key is to do your market research at the end of the day. And we gave you some tools and tips. So if you need us to email them to you, we'd be happy to do that. You can always send us a text or a message on Facebook on the Biz Show
the Biz
or Investor,
Show.
and we'll be happy to email you our content from the
Absolutely.
podcast.
Definitely so. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. You guys have a great day,
Have a
and
great
we
day.
will talk to you
Yeah.
later.
All right.